My name is Samir, is 2nd of February 2023. Here is my message for you this morning. Avoid toxic relationship at all cost. Many of us are in toxic relationship, but will turn a blind eye to it. Abusing relationships is not what anyone should stay in. It's better to be single rather than to be in such relationship or marriage. Your relationship may be toxic if it is characterized by behaviors that make you feel unhappy, including disrespect, dishonesty, controlling behaviors, or a lack of support. What is a toxic relationship? In a healthy relationship, everything just kind of works. Sure, you might disagree from time to time or come upon other bumps in the road, but you generally make decisions together, openly discuss any problems that arise, and genuinely enjoy each other's company. Toxic relationships are another story. In a toxic relationship, you might consistently feel drained or unhappy after spending time with your partner, which can suggest that some things need to change. Maybe the relationship no longer feels at all enjoyable, though you still love your partner. For some reason, you always seem to rub each other the wrong way or can't seem to stop arguing over minor issues. You might even dread the thought of seeing them, instead of looking forward to it as you did in the past. Below, we'll explore some hallmark signs of toxicity in a relationship, plus offer some guidance on next steps if you recognize any of these signs in yourself or your partner. What are the signs of a toxic relationship? Depending on the nature of the relationship, signs of toxicity can be subtle or highly obvious, explains. When you're in a toxic relationship, you might not always find it easy to notice the red flags popping up. All the same, you could notice some of these signs in yourself, your partner, or the relationship itself. 1. Lack of support. Healthy relationships are based on a mutual desire to see the other succeed in all areas of life, Caraballo says. But when things turn toxic, every achievement becomes a competition. In short, the time you spend together no longer feels positive. You don't feel supported or encouraged, and you can't trust them to show up for you. Instead, you might get the impression that your needs and interests don't matter, that they only care about what they want. 2. Toxic communication instead of kindness and mutual respect. Most of your conversations are filled with sarcasm or criticism and fueled by contempt, a predictor of divorce. Trusted source. 3. Envy or jealousy. While it's perfectly fine to experience a little envy from time to time, Caraballo explains it can become an issue if your envy keeps you from thinking positively about your partner's successes. The same goes for jealousy. Yes, it's a perfectly natural human emotion. But when it leads to constant suspicion and mistrust, it can quickly begin to erode your relationship. 4. Controlling behaviors. Does your partner ask where you are all the time? Maybe they become annoyed or irritated when you don't immediately answer texts or text you again and again until you do. These behaviors might stem from jealousy or lack of trust, but they can also suggest a need for control, both of which can contribute to relationship toxicity. In some cases, these attempts at control can also suggest abuse. More on this later. Dishonesty. You find yourself constantly making up lies about your whereabouts or who you meet up with, whether that's because you want to avoid spending time with your partner or because you worry how they'll react if you tell them the truth. 5. Patterns of disrespect. Being chronically late, casually forgetting events, and other behaviors that show disrespect for your time are a red flag, Manley says. Keep in mind that some people may truly struggle with making and keeping plans on time, so it may help to start with a conversation about this behavior. If it's not intentional, you might notice some improvement after you explain why it bothers you. 6. Negative financial behaviors. Sharing finances with a partner often involves some level of agreement about how you'll spend or save your money. That said, it's not necessarily toxic if one partner chooses to spend money on items the other partner doesn't approve of. It can be toxic, though, if you've come to an agreement about your finances and one partner consistently disrespects that agreement, whether by purchasing big-ticket items or withdrawing large sums of money. I will stop here for today. Please make sure you look out for those signs, save yourself and someone else you might know, seek for help, talk to a friend. I will see you again on my next video. Bye for now.